So, Amanda, we're here to talk about your short film that you co-produced and directed.
Hmm.
It is a part of the Whistler Film Festival.
Yes.
What got this all started?
So it is part of the Sea to Sky Shorts Showcase, which is a competition that Whistler is putting on as part of their celebration of being a festival for 20 years. And so Whistler put the call out to the Sea to Sky communities specifically. So as far north as like Darcy and Pemberton, Mount Currie, down to Horseshoe Bay, and wanted to celebrate the filmmakers that live in this region and wanted us to tell the stories of this region. And so my co-producer Krista Rand, when she heard about the competition, she immediately reached out and she's like, this is something that we should do. And we really quickly got our other co-producer Lauren Bridle on board, because her and I have been doing a lot of hiking this past summer, which has been amazing. And so we all kind of just hopped on a Skype call and did some brainstorming. And we're Lauren and I specifically, like, we do a lot of hiking, like skiing, like some trail running and stuff like that. And so nature is something that is part of our daily lives. I feel especially during COVID, nature is becoming more and more important in everybody's lives. And so
Definitely needed.
yes, yeah, that escape and that connection with nature is really important. And so we really wanted to kind of highlight the nature that surrounds us. Squamish is such a beautiful place, and we really don't have to look far for that beautiful landscape. And then as women, we wanted to tell about our experiences and the experiences of other women in Squamish. So it kind of happened quite organically. And I will say that the concept did evolve and change, even though we only had 20 days from start to finish as part of the competition. It was good that we had that short time span, but it did evolve quite a bit throughout those 20 days. So it was like, at first we were like, let's get women in the water and they'll be waiting, and, water and interconnectedness. And then we realized that we were probably going to hurt people if we asked them to go swimming in November. So we scrapped that. But yes.
And
Yeah.
once you get started with a short film, that process does evolve. How do you stop yourself from continuing and making it into a feature?
That is a great question. I think in this case, the time was the limitation for sure. It's interesting because I think as we made it, ideas are always percolating. I'm sure, as like every filmmaker probably ever is it's like you're inspired by this, and so you make this, and then you want to kind of continue on. So I don't know. I suppose we'll see if there's other films that we decide we want to kind of continue this concept and carry it forward. But I'm not really sure. Also, I suppose, Savannah Jones Martin, our poet and composer, just to kind of, I guess, go back a little bit about the concept and how we created everything. After Lauren, Chris, and I got together and kind of did our initial brainstorm, we wanted to use poetry as our script, essentially. And so we found Savannah through good old social media, listened to a bunch of her work that she'd already done that was beautiful and definitely within the realm of what we were trying to do creatively. And so when Savannah came on board, she really helped. We had another Zoom call and we just kind of brainstormed with her and said all of these things about, like, this is what, female relationship with nature means to me, and this is what nature means to me. And then she took all of those ramblings and put them together into a very cohesive storyline, which was amazing.
It's so crazy to think too that you go from, I don't know, say sitting on your couch to somebody throwing out this idea about showcasing Squamish, for instance. And all of a sudden the ideas start flowing and you're able to create something. I mean, that in itself it takes crazy talent. But to do it in 20 days it's nuts. Like, did you ever think that you were crazy?
It felt a little bit like we were under the wire a few different times, especially when it came to, just crossing our fingers that the weather was going to work on the shoot days, because we knew we would be filming outside. And we got so lucky. We filmed for 3 days, actually 4, including some drone shots that we had. And we got we got epically lucky that there was sun on all 4 of those days, which in November in Squamish is like basically unheard of. Those pockets were diamonds in the rough. Yeah, but there were, once it got shot and then into post-production, it was really fast. Like once we finished shooting a week before the deadline. And so we had like a week for it to be cut. So Lauren worked her butt off on that. And then she also did the sound design, which is incredible. Like that elevated everything so much. And and then I did the color, and it was just like back and forth, like dropping off hard drives to like pick up the footage and coloring it and then giving it back. And yeah, it was intense, but we got it done. We're really lucky that everybody just like kind of hunkered down and did the work.
And when you decided to be a director, did you ever think that you'd have to work with drones? Was that ever a thing?
No, because I've been working in television for like 15 years now. So I was really lucky once to do a shoot out of a helicopter, and that was amazing. But I don't think I ever thought that there would be drone, like that there would be these tiny little decently inexpensive pieces of equipment that could get such amazing shots. Our drone operator is another woman that lives in Squamish named Emily Beekmans, and her and Lauren work together quite a bit. And so, she's the expert on all of that. I am very inexperienced when it comes to drones, but they're pretty epic for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, when I sat and watched this short film, I couldn't believe how naturally calming it was. In a world where it's complete chaos right now and nobody knows what to do, where to go, how to go, it took me out of that chaos. And it was sort of like you were in a spa setting.
Wow.
And it was so nice to feel that way, because it's been months of chaos. How do you think that you got that calmness portrayed? How did you do that?
Well, first of all, thank you. That is like the most amazing feedback, and so grateful that you had that sensation when you watched the film. I don't know that was something we went into as a specific takeaway, but I think it's just a byproduct of nature. You know what I mean? Like to be out and to really take the time to interact with nature. Like when we went out and filmed with Devin Williams, one of her morning rituals is to go to the river, wash her face. She does a little smudge and she gives thanks to Mother Earth. And it's, for her, that's something she does quite regularly. And for her to let us in on that ritual of hers was really special. I think for us, even as filmmakers, we have our 9-to-5 jobs. This is a passion project. And so that shoot specifically, we're up at 5 a.m. We're at the river before sunrise. And so it's like the ability to put ourselves in those situations specifically with purpose. And I suppose like a lot of us are really project oriented, and it's like checking the okay, the to-do list, and we have this and we have this and we have this, but it's like to be able to put that away for a little bit, even if it is for the sake of a scene, we're still there experiencing it. And it was really calming. It was really soothing to watch, Devin go through her morning ritual and just like be present with her, was really special. I think just taking the time in nature. And I would say also that the music that Savannah created was also, I would say, a huge reason why it feels soothing and calming. Savannah does a lot of work with kind of like body realization and movement, and so I think she's really in tune, with emotion. And so even if that wasn't a specific guidance, I'm really, really happy that that's how it feels for the viewer.
And you're not from Squamish.
I am from Squamish, yes.
Oh, okay. So you're from Squamish, you moved away and then you moved back?
I didn't grow up in Squamish, but yeah, my husband and I, we've been here for almost a year now. So we are new residents to Squamish, but it's, we've been in BC for 8 years. And ever since we came here, we lived in Vancouver for the first few years, and we would always find ourselves in Squamish on the weekends. We have really good friends here. And so it was always a goal of ours from the very beginning, like to end up here. Like that was the goal for sure. And we arrived right around the time that the pandemic and lockdown kind of started. And a lot of people, I think, they were kind of like, oh, that must have been so tough. But I really actually feel like we were so lucky to be here at that time, because we were so lucky to have nature right outside our doorstep. We live near the estuary, and so there's amazing trails and the river, and just being able to get out and hike. Like one of the scenes that we captured with one of our cast Fadwa was hiking to the top of this mountain in Squamish, where you can see the whole river valley, and you can see the town, you can see the chief. And that's something that, my friends and I would do at least once a week for like the summer. And so it feels really nice. Like Squamish feels like it's become, like I was saying kind of before we started recording, like I feel like this is home, and it has been for a while, like in my brain and my spirit, but now I'm like physically here, and just like so lucky to be here.
And it's cool because for anyone who hasn't seen Squamish in person, I can't say enough. You really portrayed it well. You let the beauty show, and that's huge, because that's not always easy to do. You see a beautiful sunset, you take a picture, and it doesn't look half as decent. But you guys really got the beauty of Squamish across, and that's impressive.
That's amazing. Well, I would, shout out to Lauren for that, because it's her cinematography. And yeah, I think I love that you mentioned that for people that don't live here, that it can be kind of a window into the neighborhood. And I hope it's something that, as residents, we don't ever take for granted, because I never want to take that for granted, that sunset from the top of a mountain. Like, that's incredible.
Absolutely. Now, the film is called Nature Entwined, and people are able to view it online as of December 9th. Is that right?
December 10th. Yeah,
Okay.
From December 10th to 20th, it'll be online as part of the Sea to Sky Shorts showcase at the Whistler Film Festival.
Great.
Yeah.
I have one question that I ask each of my guests. It's about your socks.
Oh, I knew this. I was I was watching your other videos, okay, so yeah, sorry. Question about my
That's okay. So, what type of socks do you wear?
like currently wearing, I think like right now, hilariously, I'm actually wearing socks with mountains on them.
Awesome.
They're wool socks. Do you want me to show them to you?
I would love that.
Do you want me to take them off my feet, or should I just like stretch
If you're
them out?
flexible enough, you can, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So there's mountains on them. They're basically just like warm wool socks for being outside, because
Very important.
living in the mountains, you got to make sure you're warm. You got to make sure that you're ready to go at a moment's notice, I suppose.
Right. Cool. I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me, Amanda. And
Thank you.
all the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.